Hello everybody, Zero here. I know it has been a very long time since I last recorded, but I have been making a good bit of progress on the armor here and there. Worked in the shop. I can walk a little bit now. I just knocked over a box of drill bits though, so right before recording, so that's in the way now. But this is gonna be not a super long video, probably only a couple minutes. I just want to show off some of what I've been working on, the changes that have been made, things that I've tried and have failed, one of which being I had attempted to put a face cage in the armor a couple weeks ago, and had ended up using a bunch of aluminum gutter guard that I got off of a friend, because he was throwing it out, because it doesn't fucking work. He didn't know. Gutter guard, you put that up there, you've got this fucking mesh that goes up on top of your gutters, and all this does is get stuff to pile on top of this, and then your water doesn't come through and it pours over the top. It's bad. Don't use this shit. But so anyway, I got that off of him. I made this whole face cage and it was really good. It was pretty secure, but I quickly realized that if I had any problems inside the helmet with my face, I could not do anything about it because I had complete full coverage, and also it made my vision really weird and blurry because, like, I don't know how much you can see, but looking through this for like even 5 minutes will start to mess with your eyes. That's not great. Looking through the big ass bar on the front of this is already pretty bad enough. But I've made a bunch of modifications. Right now it's actually ripped apart because I needed my backpack out of it to go hiking. So it's in a bunch of pieces right now. Like the back plate's ripped off of it. I'm going to do some work on the new head cage. I have a space here in the front I can actually stick my hand in and get work done. So I figured I'd just show it off while it's apart so you guys can see. This is the back plate on the inside. Not really much padding or armor here, but that's because my whole back of my backpack sits in this. I will be adding a piece of thick plastic, like that holds the front together and the actual chest plate, into the back of here, along with possibly either a foam pad or some foam rubber padding, just to give it more impact resistance. I have one of the skirt plates built. Get a grip on this. One of the skirt plates built. These are made to bend and flex, so they're actually not attached other than these two bolts here. That sits behind me. That's made to move out of the way if I crouch down or anything. And then the chest, all the new pieces. The new head cage, a hell of a lot of spines on the sides of it. It's got mesh across the side. I took the light off. I did actually find out that that light works. So that will be getting put back on here. The battery, I have a battery for it now. That's going to be getting built. The next part is closing up this gap here and reinforcing this head cage with a piece of metal that I found scavenged. Oh wait, I didn't lift it up. This has a front skirt on it as well. It has plates. I want to cut the excess off of this so you only see the metal and this little bit up here. But this will all bend. It'll all bend sideways. It's only attached to the two bolts and it's looped together with paracord. And then I have this metal mesh jammed over it for a little bit extra resistance. But on the top of that for the head cage, I'm going to be using this material. It's still springy, but I figure once I put it on top of that mesh, or I forget what that's called, some kind of fencing that I found that's out in my yard. It was rusted. But once I put this over top, it should give me a little bit more protection. It'll be harder to stab through it, unless you're trying to come at me with like a fucking ice pick or a pen. Otherwise, good protection there. Arm plates. I finally have a right shoulder. This took me probably 45 minutes to make. Not proud of that, but there was a lot of grinding and cutting. And I could not, for the life of me, find my tin snips for like 40 minutes. Lo and behold, they weren't even in the shop. They were inside because I was using them in the house. But just basic straps. I just slide it up my arm, and that fits into place. And then I've got a pretty decent shoulder pad. I do want to put more padding on the underside and probably bring it down with another thinner plate of metal down to here. So there's that piece. Then I have my left side shoulder, which has a bit more armor. This is for the side with the shield, which this goes up. Same hooks on the same way. Definitely needs more straps on both of them. They do like to slide around a little bit. Not super bad, but with the shield on top of all that, if I can get it on. I've got a good bit of armor on that side. Plus, once the whole suit's on, you know, this shoulder's pretty well covered. Nothing on the inside yet. I am working on platings that are going to go... Basically, I'm going to make straps with hooks on them. I have I have backpack strap material inside, and I plan to be making an entire harness for this, so I don't have to use my good tactical backpack to hold it together. It'll just all be one big ass piece when that's done. But so that'll be there. I'll have the harness. I'll have straps. Next big thing is working on a full pelvis plate and a harness to hold the legs onto me and up, because the legs are really freaking heavy and they like to slide down, which is a big problem when I'm walking because they jam, my knees get caught up, and that I can't bend my legs, or they'll slide down and this piece here will dig into the top of my foot, which is not a pleasant thing either. As you can see, I've added some more around the back side. I do intend to remove all this bungee strapping and make clipped, tightenable straps at some point here with all the backpack strap material I have, and then I will be enclosing the legs. So this one is the right leg. A bit of chunky metal on the front of that. And the left leg is somewhere in the shop. I actually do not remember. Here it is. And this is the beginning of... Piece of pipe on the floor. That's not good. It's the beginning of the left leg. Not as heavily armored yet. This one's actually at like half the way to the right because I haven't gotten to armor plating it yet. It's going to get some of that mesh in the front. And some, obviously, this has no side plating. But as you can see, I think I've showed these off before. These are just built around a big-ass plastic construction knee pad. Pretty cheap. That's what I had. So those strappings on the inside of them will be getting removed. Basically what I'm going to be building is a plate that comes up off of the far side. So this is the left. So it will be here, and it will hook into my hip on a metal plate that I have running around me, and it will give me a hip joint so that my legs stay completely in place when I'm walking around and don't fall or shake around too much. Another thing I'm working on adding to the armor, at least a big piece, is I'm not going to be putting the battery in the back anymore, like up on top. I'm removing that piece. At least, probably not removing it, probably just bending it down to make more armor. Because I found this outside. It's an old electrical box. And I'm going to put all my wiring and my battery in here. And this is going to get bolted to the back plate. And then I'm going to wire my switches somewhere either into the chest or right up on the right side by the light itself. So that way, when I'm moving around and I need to turn my light on, I don't have to reach back. I just flip my switch here, and I'm on. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of wiring, but I have a shit ton of conduit and a shit ton of wire, so it's not really anything I care too much about. Gonna take some time to do, but I think in the long run it's going to be 100% worth it. Just having the ease of use, being able to switch it on and off from the side. I've been collecting a hell of a lot more metal lately. I have plates made for the sides of the legs. Again, pretty thin stuff, but you know, I work with what I have. I was working on this piece. I was going to add an extra little bit to my one shoulder plate. Don't know if I'm actually going to use it yet or not. But I have a lot of prefabricated bent pieces that once I get the materials to make the leg braces and put the new straps in, everything will be set up. So the way it's going to work is the leg plates, I'm basically going to wrap the belt. Well, I'm basically sit down, put it around my front, because it's going to connect in the back. I'm going to drop the legs on, basically step into them, snap the straps on the bottom, all the way up. And once all the straps are done, I'm going to fold the leg plate siding, is going to be hinged. It's going to fold in and snap into place in the inside of my leg. And then the belt is going to hook in the back and then hook into the harness into the back and front of the suit. So I might lose a little mobility, like twisting to the sides and twisting my legs a little bit, but I still have ankle movement, so I should be able to rotate just enough to turn. It's definitely going to make it harder to turn around, but I'm going to be able to run in it because my legs aren't going to slide and get locked up. Which, once that's all done, I've tried to talk to a few of my friends about being a cameraman for me at some point. So once that's all done, I probably will do a video of me walking around in it, moving, probably breaking shit. I had a lot of big barrels outside that I could just beat the hell out of, so might do a video of me just testing my weapons and slamming into that with the shield and the saw axe. But until then, it's basically just I'm cleaning the shop, working on prefab parts for the legs, and doing little minor adjustments here and there to things, tightening bolts, making sure things aren't going to fall apart when I decide to start wearing this again. It's actually currently like 3 in the morning right now because during the day in this shop, I have a fan. You guys can't see it. I have a big ass shop fan out here that a friend is letting me use while they're moving their house. Real nice. It keeps me cool when I'm running the grinder, but when I'm doing shit like this, I can't have it running because it is super loud and it'll fuck up my audio. So basically, I'm out here at 3 a.m. because it's the only time it's cool, because this shop gets like 90 to 100 degrees when the fan's not running and I'm running grinders and equipment in here. So I was like, I couldn't sleep anyways. I figured, fuck it, I'll come out and record a video, make some content, maybe, I don't know, work on some shit. Probably honestly gonna go back inside because it's really dusty out here and it's messing with my sinuses. I was sneezing like crazy before I started recording. I somehow got myself to stop, so that's nice. Oh God, what else? Ooh, I got more metal, and I'm very interested to see with what I can do with it, because I tried bending it. It's really fucking hard. Like even my 8-pound short sledge and my railroad track anvil together have had no real luck at bending it. I think the bend that I put in it took me around 50 minutes grab that real quick. It's actually under the camera. So this stuff is steel grating I was given. And as you see, I bent it out. This was originally going to be the head cage for on top of this. But, as you see, this one's bent to fit. This, not only is it too wide, this thing weighs like 2.5 pounds. I might end up end bending it and putting it on the front of the armor as just another big layer in the front plate. But killed my grinding disc cutting through it, and it killed my hands and my arm bending it into this shape. So we'll see where I go with that from there. I do have a lot more of it. It's not in the shop because it's huge. The whole piece itself is, trying to think, I'm about like 5'6". The whole piece is roughly this tall and about that wide. So it's very heavy. It's a lot of material to work with, but it's very hard to cut and use, which I'm not too happy with. I would like to be able to use it because it's it's good steel. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get some of that cut up, bolted on here. At some point in my life, when I get the money for it, I will be learning how to weld. And when I learn how to weld, this suit is going to be getting a massive upgrade. Don't know when that will be happening, but I have people that will teach me once I get the equipment to do it myself. So that's nice. I won't be doing any, like, super professional grade welding, but I don't really care how it looks, because if I wanted to go for looks, I wouldn't be using rusted metal. So that's, you know, it's not a big problem there. How bad this thing looks when it's done. I kind of want it to look beat up and cobbled together as it does now, which is great. But I think that's all the, I wouldn't say all the time I have for today, because I could literally sit here and record for a few hours before it's even daylight out here. But that's really all I have to say. Oh, I had a really awful idea, and all my friends have told me not to do it. I'm still probably going to do it. So, a very good friend of mine got me hooked on the Marvel movies. I watched Iron Man. And in Iron Man, his Mark I armor has this thing on his, let's say his left arm. I think it's his left. Where he has like a rocket launcher. But I was laughing so hard because through all the tech that this man has to be able to make this thing fly and do all the stuff that it does, and he has this rocket launched with like a spark mechanism in the back. So I got a hold of a bunch of fireworks, and because I'm gonna have a big ass plate of armor with loads of cloth and padding and a mask, which I'm not going to tell you what it's going to look like, but I'm working on that now, actually. So I'm going to have all that, and I'm pretty much going to be covered from head to toe. I might, either on the shield or on an empty plate for my left arm, I might make a firework launcher, just for the hell of it. So other than that, other than those little updates and tidbits of things, I don't have anything else to say, so I will see you guys in the next video. I hope everyone has a good one. I hope everyone's doing well. Stay safe, and don't do anything I do. Bye-bye.